And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another round of Next Round Sports. This is Chris Porter here with Jeff Amos and Caleb Culver. How you doing today, gentlemen?
We're here,
Doing
man.
good.
That we are.
No
We are
playoffs
just
for anybody.
here after a rough week. Also coming off of a long hiatus. Our apologies, but spent some time with the family. Had to take care of a few other issues, but we are back and ready to talk some football. And man, do we have a lot to discuss here. Starting out, as we have always done this season here on Next Round Sports, we're going to start with the Dallas Cowgirls. And I'm calling them that as a Cowboys fan. I get to do that.
Yeah, you do.
But the Cowboys going into Detroit, as everyone had said, after the 3 wins against Kansas City, Philly, and the Raiders, hey, they've got an easy schedule. If they can come out and beat Detroit, they're a shoe-in to get into the playoffs.
Yeah,
and-
especially the way Philly has been.
And we're going to get to that here momentarily.
Yeah.
But Dallas came out and laid an egg. It looked bad. The defense looked back to its old Quinn Williams look. Jahmyr Gibbs had his way the whole day. Like, he just did whatever he wanted to do running the ball.
In the first half, at least. They kind of turned around a little bit in the second half.
Yeah, it was
But
too
yeah.
late at that point.
Yeah, a little too late for sure.
And with CD going down with the injury, this was the time for George Pickens to earn his money. And Richard Sherman said it best at the end of the game. He was a no-show. He was on a milk carton that was down at the bottom of a well. You could not, he disappeared. He didn't drive for the ball. Like, when balls were thrown to him, he didn't make the effort to drive to it. He didn't look like he even wanted to be out there for this game. And this is the time when they needed him to step up the most. And he has stepped up in the past. And other times
Yeah.
CD's gone
When
down.
CD
He's
went down.
come up, and he came up huge. But I don't know what happened and why he decided, if he decided, because I know he's one of the best receivers in the league.
Yeah, and he's probably getting double teamed now that CD went out, too. So he's probably got
He'd been
safety up
double
over
teamed
top.
before when CD was out, and he was still having his way with these defenses. So I don't think that Detroit had the magic scheme to stop him. When you saw passes coming and
could
he
have.
wasn't driving, you could look
But yeah,
back.
the
at
effort
the
is what
replay.
makes you think that there's something.
The effort was something was there. Something wrong. I don't know what it was, or something was said to him, or if anything got in his head. I don't know what it is. Maybe it was something he's dealing with personally. I don't know. But the effort that he had been putting out the last 4, 5, 6 weeks was not there against Detroit when they needed it most, and that affected the game. Because that could have helped keep. That was one interception that got away bouncing off of his hands, and having him step up and make some of the catches that he did drop could have maybe changed the momentum in other ways. Not saying it would have, but I'm saying it would have had a better shot at it.
Oh, no, for sure. For sure.
And the thing that I found a little bit more ridiculous was after the game, when they interviewed, when Dak had an interview and they asked him about how the game, and he brought up, which this is something I read. I didn't see an actual interview. I just saw what was written afterwards, is him stating of now the team is pissed. They're pissed now, and they need to, we're going to do everything we can to try and win out and make the playoffs. It's like, you should have been pissed 6 weeks ago. No,
Yeah.
they started drinking the Kool-Aid because, hey, we beat Philly and we beat Kansas City 2 games in a row in a short amount of time. Everybody else was drinking the Kool-Aid of all this. No, they weren't ready. They're not. And I even told, when I came over on Friday to my in-laws' house, my father-in-law said, "Hey, here's a martini, because I know you're sad about the Cowboys." I go, I did not drink the Kool-Aid. I know what this team is. I still know what this team is. And I go, and if they happen to fall into the playoffs, it's going to be because the Eagles are going to lose their way out of it. Now,
Yeah.
And the Eagles go and lose to the Chargers on Monday Night Football. Have lost 3 in a row. And I was like, well, they probably could lose their way into it.
Yeah, very true. Like someone's got to win. That's another
The
thing
Eagles
that's
look
happened to the
terrible.
AFC
They
North
look
right now too.
they look terrible with Jalen Hurts throwing an interception, recovering the fumble, and fumbling again, losing 4 points in fantasy on one play himself.
Solid from Monsters Inc., right?
Yes.
The Monsters
Yeah.
or the Monster
I did not
Factory
watch
and
that.
both solid there.
Um,
Although that play actually broke their little simulation because the ball just kind of laid on the ground. That's the interception return.
Yes.
It's like we don't even know what to put in.
I saw the replay for that. Was like, this is the most absurd play I think I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
This looks like something off Madden.
Now, I will give the Cowboys enough credit to say at least the first half was absolutely atrocious. They did look much better in that second half. Much, much better. But again, like you said earlier, it's too little too late at that point.
Once you dig yourself a hole against a quality team, and Detroit is still a quality team. Yes, they're not.
Yeah, no matter how they've played. I mean, I'd say Green Bay's their kryptonite, honestly. That's the one team they don't want to see in the playoffs because they just seem to lose to Green Bay badly. But yeah, Detroit has one of the better.
Cowboys have that. You have a problem with Green Bay in the playoffs too. So I mean,
yeah, this is true.
But this is not
I think
the game you need to look like. Go ahead.
Well, I think it's frustrating if I'm a Cowboys fan is how you let Amon-Ra St. Brown go off on y'all, wondering he was questionable to out coming into this game, and then he gets 6 receptions for 92 yards and was a force in this game. And I just don't see how they can let that happen on top of Jameson Williams, on top of Jahmyr Gibbs. Catching balls all over.
Jameson Williams made DeRon Bland look like a practice squad player.
Yes, he did.
DeRon after signing his extension this year too.
Atrocious.
Good.
It was terrible how he looked. Terrible.
Yes. Absolutely. And another thing that you gotta be pissed off about is the inability of the secondary, other than DeRon Bland. I mean, just no one is. Everyone seems to be wide open when it's either, if it's not Amon-Ra St. Brown, it's Jameson Williams who's wide open. It's Jahmyr Gibbs who's wide open. It's David Montgomery who's wide open.
Honestly, I'd say
there's no coverage whatsoever.
Like they're not calling the right plays when what's lining up against them, or Goff's doing better checking out.
Every game, the games they've won is because they were able to outscore the other team. It's not because the defense won any game. They're open players every single game. They were just lucky that Jalen Hurts sucks enough that he couldn't hit them.
Right.
And that Patrick Mahomes also was injured and could not hit them. And they were dropping balls. They got lucky in those 2 games, but they started drinking the Kool-Aid of, oh, we beat the 2 Super Bowl teams. We've got this. We're coming back. We're back. No, you're not. You're the same damn team you knew you were from the get-go.
Yeah. And Ferguson, speaking of players who had crazy games, Ferguson had a bad game with that fumble.
He's had multiple
leading to that foul, which to me was a little ticky-tack, but it extended the drive, or ended the drive, I should say, excuse me, for the Cowboys. Like you can't turn over that much. But like I said, I think they did better in the second half. Honestly, goal line is what they need to improve the most from this game. They were 1 for 3 in scoring when they were in the red zone. That's about the only thing that kind of stands out, comparatively speaking, to the Lions. Time of possession, they had more yards. They had a few less here and there. But, yeah, they were absolutely horrible in the red zone.
Now, Ferguson has done himself no favors. He's looked atrocious. And the way he prides himself as being a leader on this team, on this offense, he's got to step up and do better. A lot better. But, again, the Cowboys have a very easy schedule going out to end the season. And that helps benefit them. I mean, if they win out, they still have a chance just because Philly is not good. There's problems there, troubles in paradise. Philly is not looking good. Philly could absolutely fault them, lose themselves out of the playoffs very easily. And there's no way they should. There's no way the Cowboys should even be in the hunt anymore. Like the Eagles should have already buried this division, and they haven't. And that's the thing, is that they're letting the Cowboys hang around.
Yeah, especially that loss against the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man!
And as you alluded to, the rest of the schedule, you have, let's see, you have Vikings,
Vikings, Commanders,
Chargers,
Giants, and Chargers,
Commanders.
Yeah, with a Jalen Hurts injury coming back from one of those two. Or Jalen Hurts, sorry. Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels did get injured again in that Vikings game. I don't see the Vikings holding the Cowboys to nothing on the scoreboard. But
no, Kevin Donnell's a defensive genius. So we'll have to see. I think that offense is going to be where they yeah.
Minnesota was the first team, I don't know how long, that went from being shut out the 1 week to shutting out a team the next week, and I don't know how many years.
Yeah.
So,
well, just a quick second before we jump off to the Eagles' schedule coming up is Raiders, Commanders, Bills, and Commanders again. So, I mean, it's with a 2-game lead, you still think they're going to pull that off, but obviously with the Bills in there, this could very well be a 1 game. So, yeah, the Cowboys walk backwards to win this division almost.
That's what it is. But then, of course, Cowboys, you have to win. You have to win out. Just like the Chiefs, you have to win out and then hope. That's what you got to do. That's not the position you want to be in. Hope does not pay the bills. You cannot hope to get to the playoffs. You want to have your destiny in your own hands. And when you don't have it in your own hands, you're hoping that someone else loses so you can get in. You don't deserve to even be in at that point.
No.
But that's all I've got to say about the Cowboys. Of course, they've got Sunday night, Minnesota Vikings coming up. What should be a winnable game, but with what the Vikings did to the Commanders, hey, you got something to look at right there. They actually might try to build some momentum, although I don't think J.J. McCarthy's that good. But we'll wrap that up right there. We'll take a quick break here. We'll be right back for the next round. And welcome back from the break as we're ready to dive into some more misery here with the Cincinnati Bengals. Jeff, take her away.
Well, this is a very entertaining game if you're just a football fan. 39-34. 39-34, the Bills end up winning. Really, the Bengals controlled the first half just based on the fact that the Bills had no ability to stop them whatsoever. I think one critical point in that first half, you could say, is that when the Bills turned it over on downs, when it was 21-11, the Bengals had the ball with a minute 11 to go. A little bit unreasonable for them to expect them to score some points, but they didn't. And that gave, I think, the Bills some least confidence that they could stop them at some point. And then the second half starts off with the Bills once again scoring a touchdown and then stopping the Bengals for a punt on a 3-and-out. And then Buffalo has a nice long drive after the 3-and-out, scoring, but then they fumbled the ball out of the end zone And that's what allowed the Bengals to drive and score 28-18. Now this is when all the fun starts because
Mm-hmm. With a capital
at
F
that
you, Hunter.
point, and not to be super play by play here, even though it sounds like I am. Uh, the Bills drive right up the field, and then the Bengals throw a pick six. Not the Bengals throw a pick six. Joe Burrow throws a pick six.
He got
And
deflected off
on a screen pass. And I don't know if that was some miscommunication with Jamar Chase or Joe Burrow, but that appeared to be on Joe Burrow because that was just not even close to Jamar Chase at all. The Bills run it back for a touchdown, and then the next play after that interception was another interception by Joe Burrow,
Yeah.
which
We almost
is
thought we were
definitely
watching a
on
repeat
him.
highlight for a second. And like, no, that's a little different.
Right, which is definitely on Joe Burrow. And then the Bills march down the field and make it 39-28, and the game is essentially over at that point. Um, However, with that being said, I thought the Bengals, at least offensively, played a very good game. T. Higgins, even with struggling in and out of concussion protocol, I thought he had a fantastic game. I thought Mike Gesicki, who's
I was about to say,
really
he's kind of been a no-show, but he came up big this game.
yeah, and I think the reason he's been a no-show is because of the injury to Burrow, and then once Burrow came back, then him and uh, Burrow's chemistry have really coincide well with each other. So he had a nice game. Jamar Chase was okay with 5 receptions for 44 yards.
Mm-hmm.
The running game is still an issue. And Chase Brown had 2 touchdowns in this game. However, one was a reception, one was just a touchdown run, but 12 carries for
Still
24
counts in my
yards for.
fantasy league, sir.
Yes,
Right.
exactly. Same for me too. And Samaji P. Ryan, 6 carries for 31 yards. Um, just overall, and then 19 carries for 62 yards total. Still missing something out of that running game. And I thought the defense gave Josh Allen way too much time to throw the ball in this game. I don't know how many times where Josh Allen had 5 or 6 seconds in the pocket, which is to be expected when you have one of the worst one of the worst pass defenses in the NFL. And so they had
Yeah.
all the
Thank you then
time in
for
the
Josh
world.
Allen on my fantasy team. I appreciate that.
Yeah, the
Yes.
crazy thing too, and you mentioned, I think you had a Freudian slip there with the rush defense because your rush defense is bad too. You're historically bad in offense. But yeah, I mean, James Cook had like 98 yards. Josh Allen had 87 yards rushing. Like that's ridiculous that he had that many rushing yards against you too.
Right. And also another big factor I think in this game were the tight ends. Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid both had great games. Even when the wide
first game back in like 3 or 4 weeks.
Yep.
Exactly. And what a way to come back when you have the worst pass defense in the league against tight ends by 250 yards. And so so Kincaid and Dawson Knox had huge games. Again, even when the wide receivers for Buffalo didn't do much of anything at all. but they didn't need him, and it was all Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid.
Yes.
And to me, ultimately, that was the difference in the game.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give your defense some credit, even though I pooed on them a little earlier. Like the first half, I thought they did okay. Not great, but okay, which is what you want your defense to be when you've got Joe Burrow in that offense. You want them to be at least average or okay. But then they just kind of died in the second half. I think some of that spark they lost after those interceptions too, because you still had the lead at that point. Then that first interception with the pick six, and then this right after that, they're back on the field. They've got to be gassed, even though it was a short field situation type of thing. But yeah, different halves there. Kind of the Cowboys in reverse. Good first half, bad second half.
Completely. And that was the thing. Just that those interceptions. I remember I was sitting there watching it, going, "Wow, Cincinnati looks like they're gonna, maybe Buffalo's not who we thought they were. This is really gonna throw us in." And then they threw the first interception and ran back for a touchdown. And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, that's how you get back in the game." And they threw the next interception right after that, and then came down and Josh Allen ran for a touchdown. I was like, "Okay, there's Buffalo. There's Buffalo showing you that they're going to take this game." I go, the momentum's theirs. I go, it doesn't matter what Cincinnati scores or does. They're just scoring fantasy.
Not to mention going to Buffalo too. Like Sean McDermott call not to just go for the field goal and go for that touchdown too. That was a big call later on too in that second half as well.
Right, and also in the first half as well. There were a lot of times when McDermott went for it. I believe the Bills may have been 3 out of 3 on fourth downs, or 3 out of 4, or something along those lines.
Yeah, 3 out of 4.
And I just thought that also going for 2 to make it a 14-11 game early on in the game, that was a statement as well. But yeah, you got to give credit to Buffalo, even though I think a lot of it had to deal with the Bengals secondary. I still think that you have to give a lot of credit to them as far as being able to utilize the tight ends, and then being able to get not only James Cook involved running the ball, but also Josh Allen running the football as well. And any thoughts of the Bengals making some sort of magical run to win the AFC North that is over now, with them being 4-9?
Yeah, you would have to win out and have a lot of help.
You have to win out.
But you have 2 other bad teams ahead of you, so
it could happen.
It could happen.
Not that bad. Not that bad.
Yep, don't see it happening, but stranger things have happened.
Yeah, very true. Very true. And at least you got, the Cardinals and Browns and Dolphins after going through the Ravens. So if you beat the Ravens again and you're at home this time,
the Dolphins, they're on a win streak. They're feeling good about themselves. They're playing spoiler.
Are you rubbing that in for your wife after they beat the Jets quite handily?
Well, I mean, not rubbing that into her, but they do have the same record as the Chiefs, and they're feeling good about that. I can tell you that.
True, the Chiefs feel like
Dolphins
they're in.
both and Chiefs both 6-7 right now.
Very true.
That is it for my Bengals.
Yeah, that game, they gave that game away. They had that game. They had Buffalo right where they wanted to them in the first snow game of the year, which always is fun when you have that first snow game, and it usually always happens in Buffalo. And they were playing well. They looked like they had this game from the get-go, and really up to those 2 interceptions and on 2 back-to-back plays. I thought Cincinnati had a good finish the game, but that right there, that just kind of just rubbed their nose back in it, and Buffalo took possession, and they were done at that. And now Buffalo's feeling secure now, at least in a wild card spot, which if everybody believed, this last 3 years, everybody says Buffalo's year. Still don't think it is.
The Chiefs aren't in there. Maybe it will be.
True, but the Patriots are ahead of him, and the Patriots are their kryptonite.
Hey,
Yeah, and that's the first loss that Joe Burrow's ever suffered against Josh Allen.
And that's the thing. If the Bills want to win the Super Bowl, they need that Josh Allen every fucking game of the playoffs. All the way
and
through.
him and Cook, in all honesty. They need both of them.
Oh, they do. But if they have Josh Allen doing that every single game, they have the chance to win. If Josh Allen's doing what he's doing, that opens up that freedom for Cook to do what he can do. But they need that. If they don't have Josh Allen playing like that, and that's been their whole season this year. If Josh Allen's playing out of his mind, they're winning. No matter what the defense does. But if Josh Allen's not playing out of his mind, such as Houston, Patriots, then they're going to lose.
So basically any team with a good pass rush.
Yes. Because Buffalo did to Josh Allen what the Chiefs did to Patrick Mahomes. They took away all of his weapons. And said, here, you're good enough. You can go win anybody. You can make everybody better. You're a great quarterback. You can make everyone better. You can make these guys into superstars. You still need a superstar there. You need someone he can give the ball to that's going to do something. But anyways, we'll wrap that up. And we'll go ahead and take a quick break here, our final break of the night. And we'll be right back with the next round. And welcome back from the break as we're ready to go to the final round here tonight and keep this misery train rolling strong as we go into the Ravens losing it to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yep.
Take it
Always
away, Kevin.
hates to lose this game. I mean, as much as I know we need this game because we've got a clean house, the only way the Ravens are going to clean house is if they don't make the playoffs.
Yep.
So I'm really kind of actually rooting that we don't make the playoffs now, just so we can actually do some house cleaning stuff. But yeah, it always sucks to lose to the Steelers.
You've got a chance, especially going up against the Patriots and everything.
I mean, as we talked about with the Cowboys, we could walk backwards into this. It's going to be crazy.
It would be very hard, and things would have to fall perfectly right. But even the Bengals could fall into this right now.
Well, yeah, we'll get to that in just a second on their future. But just for the game for a second, I mean, this is an absolutely kind of insane game, which you kind of expect from the Steelers and Ravens. I mean, Aaron Rodgers hasn't thrown for over 200 yards in like 5 weeks. He gets 284 yards on you. And Old Man River even scampers in for a touchdown.
His first rushing touchdown in 3 years.
Right. Meanwhile, the rest of the running back collection has 17 carries for 34 yards. It's like, what the heck? That's a very odd defensive scheme. But, I mean, overall, I think our defense was okay on that side of the ball. Obviously, giving up 285 yards. Wiggins and Humphreys not looking right. Wiggins got absolutely juked by Gainwell on one run. Trying to make like a hit tackle instead of a wrap up. Roquan Smith also looking foolish out there at times. So, I mean, there's a lot of players that just look out of sync or out of place. And I was even telling Jeff, I don't understand why we're not pressuring them more. We're almost always playing off the ball or off the receivers. That's the Zach Moore system. And when we go back to the Bengals, where you can name all these players going bad, what was that?
I don't think your defensive backs feel like they could hang with anyone.
Well, honestly, I think this is a scheme thing. Like you said, if you could name all these players that are bad, it's not the players, it's the scheme, it's the coverage calls. So, I mean, that's another reason, like, I need Zach Orr gone. If that happens this offseason, I'll be extremely happy, even though I'm mad at Monken for not running Derrick Henry as much as he should.
I was about to say,
leaving him on. We're going to get to the offense. We're going to get to the offense.
Okay, we'll get to that.
Get the defense a little bit there. But, yeah, so fire Zach Orr, but whatever it is. So, I mean, like I said, defense-wise, I think it wound up being okay. But the offense, too, at the same time, Oh, the offense. It never got started, in all honesty. I mean, Lamar Jackson finally broke his droughts and had a passing touchdown and a rushing touchdown.
He
Then he, of
still
course,
looks.
throws that.
He still
Yeah,
looks
he didn't look
lethargic.
right. I
He
mean, the
looks
announcer's like,
lethargic.
oh, there's his old Jets. Like, no, that's not the old Lamar. Like, that's very ginger Lamar. He would have tried to make moves in the past. So I honestly think he is probably a little still injured or something lingering going on there. But I mean, of course, he also threw that fourth quarter interception. So that's Lamar we know and love, unfortunately, right now.
That was a terrible pass. Yeah,
It was, and it was a kind of a little bit of a momentum killer there at the end because the Ravens finally started getting a little bit going. But it's hard to say that when you don't lead the entire game. Um, and that's even getting into our kicker missing an extra point, making all three field goals, but missing an extra point. So I mean, it's just one of those games with inconsistency, rules the roost on offense and defense. I mean, our running game did what it was supposed to do. Derrick Henry, 25 carries for 95 yards. Mitchell coming out for 6 carries for 76 yards. So, I mean, we ran it fairly effectively.
You did, but why were they running Ali in the fourth? Like,
That's
okay,
the point. I was just about to say, I don't understand why Derrick Henry's not in for like those last, I would say, 2 drives. It was all Ali.
You're not saving Derrick Henry for the playoffs. You need to run him now to get to the playoffs.
Oh, I know. This is the Monken conundrum. Like, we can go all the way back to the Chiefs-Ravens playoff game where we were sitting in Pluckers with Jeff, and I was just like, Jeff, why have they not run the ball since, like, the start of the second half of that game? It doesn't make any sense sometimes to the game calls and game plans that he has. So, like, honestly, I'm hoping we lose both coordinators. I mean, I wish Monken well, go off, be an OC or head coach somewhere else. But yeah, like we've got to clean some house. This is not good. And it also, of course, falls on our GM. Like, he put this team together. They knew there was weaknesses going back into it. Like, hey, can this offensive line hold up? Hey, is this defense going to be the one we saw in the first half last year or the second half? We talked about the start of the year. Unfortunately, we're getting the first half from last year. But, I mean, honestly, I think, though, this game comes down to 2 penalties. And I'm not going to say the refs decided this game by any means, but there were 2 big calls I think are kind of the main talking points from this game. The first one being about Travis Jones with that personal foul on the Steelers' field goal kick, saying he ran into the center. No, he didn't. That was just an absolute bad call.
I agree.
And props to the league at least for admitting it afterwards, even though it was a momentum killer for sure there, leading to a Steelers touchdown instead of a field goal. But the big one I think everyone talks about this so far today is the Isaiah Likely touchdown. That was not called a touchdown.
It's going.
He catches the ball, gets 2 feet down, and then loses the ball shortly after.
This is your Dez caught it moment. This is your Dez caught it moment.
Pretty much. I mean, it was just
Likely caught it. Like, that was a touchdown. There's nothing.
No, I absolutely agree with you.
To have the touchdown. When you only have to do as a runner is just break the plane and you get the fucking hands up. Like,
yeah.
What more does he need to do?
No, I mean, we can go back to the Lee Evans Patriots playoff touchdown where the ball got ripped out. Like, yeah, I kind of get that one's not a touchdown. I'm not super mad about that one from like 2023.
I remember that one.
But at the same time, like, I have 2 huge complaints with this one. First off, a lot of times we've been told about 2 feet down or a second step means you've made the catch, it's completed. There you go. Second one is the rule of thumb has typically been for the refs, call it a touchdown if it's close. Let it be reviewed. Neither of those happened. Just straight up called an incomplete pass. I was like, why not have this be reviewed? And at the same time, Harbaugh, why are you not throwing the challenge flag?
Exactly.
It's not within 2 minutes. You still have a challenge. You have timeouts. I know it's kind of close and you maybe want to save those timeouts, but this would have put you ahead. And almost everybody in America says that's a touchdown. So, I mean, right when you need Riverboat Harb to be Riverboat Harb, he's not. But, yeah, I mean,
the crazy
thing was on the phone with the Ravens over this time. And for some reason, they're saying it needs to be 3 steps, according to the call with the league. They're like, hey, what is the football move that he needed to do? And they said 3 steps. We kind of talked about this off air. I don't know why a defensive back is not going to take that and run with it. Like, oh, you need 3 steps to make a catch now instead of 2? Rip the damn ball out every time.
Every single
Play through the whistle.
we should do.
Well,
And the
also,
thing-
you were
I
saying,
just found it weird that this call happened this way against Baltimore in Baltimore. Like if this would have happened at
yeah,
Heinz Field, they don't call it Acrisure Stadium up here. It's Heinz Field. But if that would have happened up in Pittsburgh, okay, understandable. You know they're getting a little home cooking. But for that,
Right.
that call to happen in Baltimore, shocking to me.
yes, very true, very true. And now we've lost to 2 of our big division rivals at home. So now our 2 remaining games against them are going to be on the road. I think you were going to say something, Joe.
oh no, I was just gonna say it. So if another thing that gets me is if say a wide receiver has 2 feet in barely and they fall out of bounds, and then is that considered a football move, or how come that's not?
Yeah, I mean, this whole
Totally
thing's in question
complete.
now, I think, too. I mean, this is a boon for the defense, like I was saying, I think. So we'll have to see how it goes. But yeah, I'm just incredulous that is not, and even more so, like Porter said, you're at home. You expect to get that call. But, I mean, you go against 2 well-known maxims, but with the 2 feet down, or aka the football move being made that way, and if it's close, call it what it is, a touchdown, so it'll automatically be reviewed. And it didn't happen. And I feel like a lot of life kind of
Right.
left the Ravens team after that too. So it's a huge momentum killer. But it is what it is. Like I said, I'm really hoping the Ravens don't make the playoffs just so we can clean house, which is very odd for me to say, but unfortunately we're in that mode right now. And the Ravens are pretty much going to have to win out or go 3-1 and not have that loss be against the Steelers or Bengals to kind of walk themselves backwards into winning this division, which is the only way they're going to make the playoffs. Because this whole division is bad, much like the Eagles and Cowboys division. Somebody's got to win, even though they're probably going to be smoked in the first round of the playoffs.
They're going to win against their will is what's going to happen.
Pretty much.
Yes.
The sad thing is that the Ravens, what you're wanting, they're really about where the Cowboys were at with the end of the Mike McCarthy era. It was like, just lose so we can fucking fire everyone. Like, just be done with it. Like, I'm just tired of the
Right.
mediocrity.
Yeah,
And
eight's
really-
not a good place to be.
And I know you want to get rid of the coordinators, but when is it time to get rid of Harbaugh?
Oh, I've already called for his head this year. I'm fine if he gets fired too. That's not kind of the Ravens' way, so I don't see it happening, the coach wise. But I do think the Cardinal, at least one of the coordinators, most likely Orr, because he's low hanging fruit, Monken may be able to keep his job. But if we're not drafting D line and O line this next draft, I want the GM fired too.
Oh, agreed. You got to build it with the meat and potatoes. Those big boys
Oh
down
yeah,
low.
for sure.
Because it doesn't matter what flashy pieces you get, what flashy quarterback you get. If you don't have those
Yeah,
big boys,
I mean, we were happy. Hey, we got DeAndre Hopkins and Jair Alexander. That's just going to put us over the top.
Fuck no, didn't do
Jair's
shit.
gone. Hopkins has been okay, but we can't move the ball in offense. Lamar looks timid at best just because his offensive line is so absolutely horrible this year. But yeah, just
you don't have
not a
big
good year.
boys
And I mean,
If you don't have those big boys to protect them, then those shiny pieces dull very, very
Yeah.
quickly.
I mean,
Gotta have-
right now
gotta
the
have-
athletic playoff predictors got us to think about 34% and our record at 8-9 as we finish the year, which means we win 2 of our last games, which I'm not sure we can at this point. I mean, you got you got Patriots, you got Packers, then of course Steelers and Bengals at home.
Oof.
Yeah, or on the road if you're the Ravens, excuse me. So I'm pretty sure the Ravens are out. I'm going to go ahead and call that bird done.
That's a gauntlet right there.
It is. It's the hardest
Now,
schedule.
if you
out
weren't
left
in the
Steelers
NFC,
and
if you weren't in
Bengals.
the AFC North, I wouldn't say the Bengals are part of the gauntlet, but it's a divisional game. That's a gauntlet.
Right.
That's just
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when they just beat you on Thanksgiving, like 42-17
Mm-hmm.
at home.
That's yeah.
But did, yeah. So it was a good year, I guess. Not really. That's a complete and utter lie. It's been a dumpster fire.
So 0-4 and get everyone fired.
Yes. And a high draft pick. So we're going now, gentlemen.
And that what can happen because I mean with the Patriots on Sunday night, and then you got the Packers, and then Pittsburgh. So you just lost to and Bengals. That could absolutely happen. Absolutely happen.
You got to go to their stage.
Ravens better not steal a third place schedule away for the Bengals. I'll be pissed.
Watch, they're going to do it. They're going to beat them right at the end, and they're going to steal that schedule. They're going to steal that schedule. It's going to happen.
No, I don't want a second place schedule.
You're getting a second place schedule. Yes, you are. Are you going to fall into first place and actually get in there? It's going to be
unbelievable if you get a second place schedule.
Yes,
7 and 9.
You're gonna get a first place schedule, and you get rocked to the first round of the playoff.
Right?
Yes, exactly.
Oh my goodness! Then he gets to continue with the Zach Taylor era.
Yes. Well, Zach Taylor era is going to continue because they're the Bengals, and they're not going to give it up.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
The day that Zach Taylor gets fired is the day that Mike Brown dies. And there's just no way that Zach Taylor
will happen after Burrow's retired, because right now he has a leg to stand on, because all he has to say is, well, Joe got hurt again. It's the training staff.
Yeah.
Better training staff. Otherwise, if he stayed in, we'd be winning.
Exactly.
Sad but true.
Yep. Well, I think we've all commiserated in our own dumpster fires here long enough, so we'll go ahead and let that fire go ahead and simmer out now, as we'll go ahead and wrap this wonderful episode up. We'd like to thank everyone for joining us. Please follow us on all of our social media platforms at Next Round Sports. Easy to find us. We'll get to you on there. For Caleb Culver, for Jeff Havens, this is Chris Porter. We'd like to thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you all again on the next round. Cheers.
Cheers.